So, I'm back now. Now, before we get into this whole main topic on why you clicked this video and all that, you guys are probably wondering, Red Dude, where were you, bro? Like, we wanted more videos and stuff. Well, don't worry, guys. I got a perfectly good explanation for them all. All right, so for one, and this is probably the most simple answer, I just haven't really been having, like, the real motivations to, like, be making videos like that. And it was just, like, I didn't really, like, know where to, like, put my content at now, like, ever since I got done making theme song videos. And two, I have recently started, like, trying to apply for, like, a job and all that, so I could, like, actually, like, try to make money and provide for my family. And three, it's just, like I said earlier, like, I just never really had, like, the real motivation to actually, like, start making videos until just now. But yeah, now with that all out the way, let's get into this main topic. So, Mashup Week Megamix. This is definitely a thing. Now, before we get into what Mashup Week Megamix is, I think it should be more appropriate that we talk about the main inspiration behind it, which most of you people may know as King for a Day, or its sequel, King for Another Day, made by Silver Gunner. So if you feel a bit alienated and you have like zero idea on who Silver Gunner is and what the whole King for Another Day tournament is and all that, pretty much like all you gotta know is that Silver Gunner is pretty much like this one music YouTuber, but not in the way you may think. So like, if you go on the channel, you'll see a whole bunch of OSTs for like different video games. But if you click on them, you're not gonna get exactly what you may think. Now that may sound a bit weird, but it'll just make a bit more sense when I just show you this clip. I'm in the thick of it, and everybody knows. They know there is no such thing, and they fall. I know ice, I'm just old. Yeah, they made better use of thick of it than KSI himself did. Also, in case you couldn't tell, yes, I've been recording these videos from separate days, so that's why my voice sounds slightly different from the other recordings you guys been hearing so far. Anyways, I would show you guys a bit more of examples of like the kind of content Silver Gunner makes, but then we just be getting off topic and it'll just make like the video a whole lot longer than it really needs to be. So let's just get into the main topic of why I brought up Silver Gunner in the first place. So as mentioned earlier, Silver Gunner and their team pretty much made the King for Another Day tournament. And like I did say earlier, it is a music tournament, but not just any music tournament. A music tournament so special that not only could I really like dive into it in like its own video one day, but it also spawned several other music tournaments that took heavy inspiration from it. One of those being the one I'm going to be talking about today, Mashup Week Megamix. Okay, now that we're on the topic of Mashup Week Megamix, I feel like the most appropriate thing to talk about before we get into the contestants is probably the source list, so we could get like a better understanding on how like the whole tournament itself works. Now you're probably wondering what the source list I just mentioned was, and pretty much all you gotta know is like in music tournaments, like every single character has their own source list where they have to pull their own music from. And here's a brief example of what I'm talking about. Now one of the characters in the tournament is Head Chef Heavy, aka just a heavy weapons guy from Team Fortress 2.
This is how you eat a Big Mac, nigga.
I need a salad.
And his source list not only includes music from TF2, but also from other Valve properties such as Portal or Half-Life. And because he is a head chef, he also gets songs related to food or other culinary arts. So for an example, he could get Bon Appetit by Katy Perry as a source. And because the character Heavy is Russian in the original TF2, he gets access to Eastern European songs, which means he could also have Rasputin, that one song you've been seeing on Twitter and on TikTok, also as a source.
That's the power of love. Gold and diamonds, roots like cream. Strong
Another character in the tournament, Eliana from Rivals of Ether. Not only does she get music from Rivals of Ether, but she also gets music from other 2D fighting games, such as Indie Pogo or Brawlhalla, or even Skullgirls. Anyways, now that you know the basic idea of what a source list is, now let's get into the part where I really wanted to talk about most of the characters. Trust me, there's a lot to talk about when talking about the characters. Now, obviously, I'm not going to talk about every single character participating in the tournament, as that'll just make the video a whole lot longer than it really needs to be. But I will go over a few that I find the most interesting, in my opinion. Now, before I start talking about the actual characters themselves, I feel like it is important mentioning there was a Mashup Week original that was pretty much kind of like the King for a Day to the King for Another Day tournament. And pretty much if you're confused, I'm saying it was kind of like the tournament before the actual even better tournament. And with the sequel, of course, all of the veterans will be returning. Some of them even having a whole bunch of updates to their source list so they can stand even more of a chance than they did last time. One of those veterans being Neil Ciceriga, or as he goes by now as Neil Cypher. And pretty much for context, prior to the Mashup Week Megamix, Neil Ciceriga somehow got his body taken over by Bill Cipher from the Gravity Falls series. And pretty much became Neil Cypher. Is that kind of the one episode from Gravity Falls where Bill Cipher took over Dipper's body. But from him doing that, he got his source list updated from not only having Neil Ciceriga songs, but also having songs from other Disney Channel properties such as Gravity Falls, Wander Over Yonder, or even Big City Dreams. Another notable veteran that did come back is also Ray William Johnson, or as he now goes by, the Forum Freak Show. For context, similar to Neil Cypher, Ray William Johnson, prior to the events of Mashup Week Megamix, somehow managed to piss off the guardian of copyright laws, the Omega SoundCloud, from the original Mashup Week tournament. And as in doing so, he gets possessed by the Omega SoundCloud, and together they both turn into the Forum Freak Show, with their source list now only including songs made by Ray William Johnson or songs from projects Ray William Johnson have featured on, such as Epic Rap Battles of History. But now they have access to songs that were featured in SoundClouds or by notable SoundCloud rappers such as Childish Gambino or Soulja Boy.
Now I ain't trying to disrespect epileptic, but the music he played made the place go hectic. The fingers on the deck came disconnected, all the alcoholic cues were suddenly naked. I felt my muscles expanding, the track I passed out on the dance floor, laying on my back. Reality started fading, cutting in and out. I woke up and an ocean went through my mouth. These rappers are afraid of him, cause I'm a bitch girl, and Childish Gambino is a tall girl. Ran through with 40 niggas like slavery. Told me I was awful and that shit did not face me. Tell me I was such a kid, my memory is empty. You're my favorite rapper now, yeah, I better be.
Another veteran I really do want to talk about, and one of my other favorite contestants in the tournament as a whole, is Herobrine. Or if you want to go by team names, Netherrack Nightmares. Now, just so you could get an overall idea of Herobrine's source list, he gets sources from not only just Minecraft itself, but also from Minecraft fan songs. So he also gets access to Revenge by Captain Sparkles, or Take Back the Night by Tryhard Ninja. And not gonna lie, whenever I listen to a Netherrack Nightmares track that has any of those Minecraft fan songs, I just get a huge nostalgia blast, or nostalgia boost, whatever you want to call it. But he also gets songs related to creepypastas, so he gets songs like Lavender Town from Pokemon, or even Don't You Dare Forget the Sun by Get Scared. But before the Mashup Week Megamix tournament, he was able to summon the powers of a mutant enderman named Craig from the mutant mod from Minecraft to help him in the tournament. And as in doing so, he gets access from like different songs from like other different video game mods. So for example, he pretty much gets access to any sort of Friday Night Funkin' mod, like the Witty mod or even the Garcello mod. Alright, now with all that out the way, let's finally talk about some of the newcomers. Alright, now the first newcomer I'm going to be talking about also happens to be my main for this whole tournament. And who is my main for this tournament? Well, I'm glad you asked, hypothetical voice. That main is going to be Reanimated. Or if you just want to know their names, Ed, Matt, Tom, and Tord from the Edgeworld series. I cannot express how overjoyed I was when I found out that not only are the three Edgeworld main characters being a part of this tournament, but they're bringing Tord along for the ride. You know, the dude who left Edgeworld for a time and then came back as a villain all of a sudden. Yeah, I cannot express how overhyped that was. But that's not the only reason why. They also have a pretty neat source list that is also just as hype as the characters themselves. That source list includes songs featured in Edgeworld, both original and songs that just simply featured on it back when it was in its early Flash years. And they also get access to to songs made by Newgrounds creators, or just songs featured in Newgrounds content, which means they get access to stuff like songs from Madness Combat or even Friday Night Funkin', but only the actual Friday Night Funkin' game, not any of the mods, because that goes to Netherrack Nightmares. But they also get access to other stuff, like stuff from like Edgeworld collaborators, which means they have access to songs made by The Living Tombstone or even by Ken Ascorp, as they both have composed music for Edgeworld before. Another newcomer I really want to talk about is Ace D. Copular from the Powerpuff Girls. Ace D. Copular may seem like a weird pick at first for like a tournament like this, but at the same time, he's just like one of those contestants that really makes so much sense as to why he's here. Now, most people may not know this, but like the virtual band Gorillaz, there was like this whole lore thing going on with like the bassist of the band Murdoch went to prison, and then to replace Murdoch for a short while, Ace D. Copular, the actual dude from the Powerpuff Girls cartoon series, came in to replace Murdoch. And apparently, the dude who originally made Gorillaz, Damon Albarn, I think that's how his name is pronounced. He pulled times with Craig McCracken and Cartoon Network to actually try to get Ace to be a part of the Gorillaz band for a short while. And it was actually pretty successful because Ace did become a character for a short while in the Gorillaz lore. And as such, not only does Ace get access to songs made by the Gorillaz band, but he also gets access to other projects that Damon Albarn has featured on, such as Space Monkeys or even Blur. And being a Cartoon Network character, he also has access to not only stuff made by Cartoon Network, but also songs featured in other cartoons in the Turner Broadcasting Network. So he gets access to the Powerpuff Girls regular show and the Amazing World of Gumball, just to name a few. And to finish it off, he also has access to British pop or alt rock genres of music.
Listen, jerkface, you government and code. How about this? I wanna devise a virus to bring dire straits to your environment. Crushing corporations with a mind touch. Smash the whole computer system and convert you to a virus. I wanna make a super virus strong enough to cause blackouts in every single metropolis. They don't wanna unify us, so fuck it. Total anarchy and everybody stop us.
Yet another newcomer I really want to talk about, and one of my other favorite contestants in the series, is actually a duo this time. But not just any duo, the dynamic duo, Scatman and Hatman, or as they are also known as Scatman John or Lou Bega. Now before we get into like the whole source list and songs behind both Scatman and Hatman, I just gotta really appreciate like the lore behind these two. Like not only are these two a duo in the tournament because Lou Bega made a tribute to Scatman John and even sampled like part of Scatman's song in that video, but also like these two were also bosses in the original Mashup Week tournament. And now the fact that they are back this time as contestants is just honestly kind of amazing in my opinion. Now as for their source list, they get songs made by both Scatman John and Lou Bega, of course, but they also get songs in both the jazz and Eurodance genres, but also in the mambo and big band genres. And they also get songs made by one-hit wonders, so like songs like Buddy Holly or Cotton Eye Joe are pretty much like in their source list as well. And they also get just like 90s hits all around, excluding 90s rap or hip-hop, because both of those goes to Charles All-Star Barkley in the tournament. So yeah, in terms of sources, these two probably have the most stacked source list in the entire tournament. All right, now this next newcomer I'm going to be talking about, it's kind of a doozy. And honestly, you're probably not going to expect the character I'm about to say. So honestly, like instead of just like talking about him, let me just show you a few snippets of like this this character's reveal trailer. Roll it. Yes, this is a real character. Honestly, I don't even know how to start explaining this dude. So, this is Rick Astley, you know, or the dude who made the "Never Gonna Give You Up," the popular bait and switch meme, right? Well, now here's him as a goddamn hentai addict and otaku. Now there is like a whole lore going on with like the Mashup Week Megamix surrounding him, like how he's like Rick Astley, but like from an alternate universe where he still is like a famous singer, but like now he's like in the anime and hentai. So do with that information what you will. But unironically though, this dude might just be one of the best contestants in the entire tournament. His source list includes everything made by Rick Astley, obviously, and also stuff on like the 90s new wave genre. But now it's his newfound status as an otaku and hentai addict. He now has access to stuff in the otaku culture and the happy hardcore genre, while also having access to a whole nother artist by the name of C3 Real and all the music that they made. Oh, and also, it should also be mentioned that he also has access to songs related to sex or sexual themes, such as CPR by that one artist named Cupcake. Yeah. And he also has access to songs related to bait and switch memes, so mainly because like the whole Never Gonna Give You Up is kind of known for being like a bait and switch meme. So he also has access to stuff like Megalovania, because Megalovania is also a bait and switch for me. And also, in my personal opinion, which is probably going to be one of his best pulls in this tournament, he also gets access to any song from pre-2012 internet culture, such as pretty much like the Nyan Cat meme, or Gundam Style, or even the Trollolololo song. Remember when that was so popular back then?
La 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 la. Oh. La 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 la. Ho 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 ho. Ha 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 ha. Ho 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 ho. Ha 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 ha. La 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 la.
And despite all this, he has probably some of the best tracks in this entire tournament. Like, if you really don't believe me, just listen to this track I'm about to play.
We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside, we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're...
All right, well, those were all the notable contestants I really wanted to talk about. And like I said earlier, I'm not really going to go over every single contestant, because then this video would be almost like an hour long if I did. But with that being said, though, there is one more thing I do want to talk about in this video. Now, as for you people that remember the King for Another Day tournament, you would also remember that it had its own website called the King for Another Day Mojo. Well, guess what? Mashup Week Megamix has its own website that is pretty much like kind of similar to that Mojo. And just like the Mojo, you're able to see all the contestants participate and also the bonus characters, including the host of the tournament himself, Scott the Waz. Yes, Scott the Waz is the one hosting the tournament. It's kind of because like he won like the last tournament, like in the OG Mashup Week tournament. But outside of also looking at the characters and also the music that was made for the tournament, you're also able to look at the story posts, which pretty much like gives you a whole lot of more lore and insight to how these characters interact with each other. And I'm not going to get into every single lore post today, but as for right now, I'll just go over one of the more recent ones, in that Charles Barkley actually fights both Tyler and the Grinch, and the Grinch was able to pilot a whole robot in order to fight Barkley. And if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link to the website in the description down below, so you guys could like try to look at the contestants and their source list while also like having a fun time reading the story post, because I myself have had a fun time reading most of this stuff. And while also on the same topic of talking about the website, I should also mention that Mashup Week Megamix also has its own Discord server. A Discord server which, yes, I have joined. And the people there are actually pretty nice and chill from what I saw. And I've been there for like a few months now and just like been talking to some of the people. And I'm going to leave a link to the Discord server in the description down below. Because like the Mashup Week community is filled with a whole bunch of nice people who I've met and have become friends with. So, like I said, I'll leave a link in the description down below for if you want to join that Discord server. And, hey, you may even catch me in there from time to time talking. And it should also be worth noting that Mashup Week Megamix, like, right now is in this losers round 2 phase. And currently right now, Rick Hentai is going up against Club Bangers. And by the time I'm recording this, like, the votes should be coming in, like, around, like, 5 o'clock. So So if you're watching this, and I just now happen to post it today, where the votes are happening right now, make sure you try heading over to the Mashup Week Megamix channel and try to tune in for the votes to see who wins. Honestly, I'm hoping Rick Hentai will win. But anyways, with that all being said, and I don't want this video to really get too long, to be like 30 minutes long. So with that all being said, that was pretty much like what I wanted to talk about today. Talk about Mashup Week Megamix, my new hyper fixation for over these past few months. Please help me. I need help. But anyways, let me know down in the comments if I should keep on making these kind of videos, because I do kind of want to like branch out my content and all that. And yet again, I'm sorry for not really uploading this entire summer. It's just like the reasons I said it in the intro, and also the fact that I just really haven't been like having like the right motivation to really like make videos like that all this summer. But anyways, that's all. And until then, see you later, Redder Nation. Yes, Redder Nation. I just made that up right now. Look, Redder Nation. I'm trademarking that. Anyway, see you guys.
Skibbity toilet.